Hey, what's up, you guys? You're on the Ant-Man channel, and it is Thursday, the 3rd of April, 2014. And, like, pretty much this week so far, I've been, running into these little articles that I didn't think I would run into, but hey, I guess it was from 2 days ago. I got it today, but it's by Clash Daily, and I had run into this topic myself the other day, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, that is pretty crazy, but here we are. This article is called Nazi-like Experiments by Obama's EPA Conducted on Human Beings to Further Agenda. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? You know that most of you don't really understand this to this extent, most of you. But I know a lot of you out there do. It's just that it's hard to believe, I know. But unless you really go and look for these things, like the actual, like, confirmed, like, papers and all, like, the articles about them that have links to them, you can be pretty amazed to know that this stuff is actually, you know what I mean? Like, you could see it. Like, I could show you documents about the, what do they call it? It's the document for, I have to pull it up here. Government documents. Oh, here it is. Ho ho ho. I found the one I was looking for. Yep. Internment and Resettlement Operations FM 3-39.40. This is about how they're going to transfer you into FEMA camps and stuff. But anyways, back onto our topic. I'm just going to go into read into this article already. Michael Bastach, Daily Caller. The Environmental Protection Agency has been conducting dangerous experiments on humans over the past few years in order to justify more onerous clean air regulations. Well, I've been hearing also that they want to lower the flatulence of cows. They think that because cows are farting, that that's producing global warming. That's like yeah, I don't even know. Say what you want about Alex Jones, but he pointed out a good thing the other day, and that was that they're so over the top with their misinformation right now, and that goes on to say a lot of things, man. Like, if they're really that over the top right now with how they're misinforming the public about how, there's 7.1 million people that have signed up for Obamacare, how that's not really true. Like, how if you really looked at the real numbers, that wouldn't, you would be like, why? And that's exactly because they are trying to keep you, they use words like transparency and, stuff like that, but you have to realize that they operate in the actual opposite. It's like double talk. So the agency conducted tests on people with health issues and the elderly, exposing them to high levels of potentially lethal pollutants without disclosing the risk of cancer and death, according to a newly released government report, which there are links here, by the way. ClashDaily.com, Nazi-like experiments Obama's EPA conducted human beings agenda. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you didn't know? You guys didn't know about Agenda 21. You guys didn't know about, Skull and Bones, and you guys didn't know about any of this. You guys don't know? Like, okay, well, and you still have to learn a lot. These experiments exposed people, including those with asthma and heart problems, to dangerously high levels of toxic pollutants, including diesel fumes, reads a EPA Inspector General report obtained by the Daily Caller News Foundation. The EPA also exposed people with health issues to levels of pollutants up to 50 times greater than the agency says is safe for humans. The EPA conducted 5 experiments in 2010 and 2011 to look at the health effects of particulate matter, or PM, and diesel exhaust on humans. The IG's report found that the EPA did get consent forms from 81 people in 5 studies, but the IG also found that exposure risks were not always consistently represented. Further, the EPA did not include information on long-term cancer risks in its diesel exhaust studies consent forms. The IG reports the IG's report noted. So, an EPA manager considered these long-term risks minimal for short-term study exposures, but human subjects were not informed of this risk in the consent form. According to the IG's report, only one of five studies consent forms pretty much provided the subject with information on the upper range of the pollutant they would be exposed to, but even more alarming is that only 2 of 5 alerted study subjects to the risk of death for older individuals with cardiovascular disease. So, you would probably ask why. Why are they doing that? Well, because that's just how they have us right now. It's all like a weird scientific type of, yeah, this is straight out of Nazi Germany. Mind control, this type of mind control is out of Nazi Germany, and I don't even know. Just they poison us through the water, through the food, and they keep your brain working at a capacity that's too slow to really use certain types of ways of thinking, like using critical thinking or cognitive thinking. Like, they do this by getting your waves to be on a certain type of frequency that the TV sets for you. The television's cool. I like to watch UFC and stuff like that, but what's crazy is that the television has certain elements to it that make you go into a catatonic state, a sleep type of state, where your mind is really not working. You don't really ask questions. You're kind of in a, it's really like a zombie state. This is mind control. And you have to know that you guys are subjected to all this stuff. If you guys don't stop and wonder, why are people getting cancer? Why are so many people getting autism? Why are so many people getting all these diseases? And why are so many people stupid? You know what I mean? And when you think about it, it's because we're under chemical warfare. We're under chemical attack as much as we are under spiritual attack. And we're coming they're coming against us on all fronts. They're coming all against us with the Fort Hood thing. The guy came out to be on psych drugs like all the other shooters that were lone gunmen. This is ridiculously obvious now what they're doing. And this is pretty much where the rubber meets the road. They're going all out on us. They want our guns. And if they take our guns, you better believe that document that I just pulled up, the internment and resettlement, isn't going to go for people like me and you who watch YouTube videos and know about what's going on and tell people about it. They're not going to, those places aren't for us. We get to go and meet our maker if you want to be into this kind of stuff. And the good little slaves that believe the news and they go and they work hard for the Federal Reserve to make us bankrupt and give them all our money. Well, those are the people those camps are for. And hey, I'd rather be on the side of history where we already know what happens. If you're a Christian, everything works out for those that love God in the end, the good and the bad. All of this stuff, man, it's just, it's getting, I don't know, man, I don't know about you, but I feel like, my spirit is really urging me right now to act, to really act right, because it's like, I see the fear in people, and they're acting crazy because they know this is going on, but they don't want to admit it, and I see a lot of division with people, and that's also another sign that we rather go into total anarchy than to come together and fight for justice, fight for freedom and liberty. We rather go into total anarchy and let all of us just become played off by the government on each other, like in that movie where they're pretty much they're selling you that, well, you're going to like those food trucks and stuff like that, and what are we, food? You know what I mean? We're food for them. Why are we fighting each other? We should be fighting them. And it's cool because I actually woke someone up the other day, and he was actually really hard to wake up, and it's really amazing. But, it's a consistency too. Once you know this, you don't just put it aside and say, well, you know what I mean? It's not over. Definitely it's not over. This is spiritual warfare, man. And I really do say that you should contend, man, because whether we know or not what happens, it doesn't really matter. We got a lot of things good. Praise God for all the good. And over here on my side of the world, we got a lot of earthquakes going on. The Chile earthquake, we had the Panama earthquake, we had a couple of them over here in Southern California, but I don't know. You know what I mean? And I think they're actually putting out propaganda about how there's animals fleeing Yellowstone Park. I don't know, man. They're up to something, man. All these shootings and all this stuff, dude. It's them. And the Bible talks about that there are people that want a one world government, they want a one world religion, and they want a one world currency. And when you really look into politics and into history and certain figures in history and what they believed in, philosophies of the occult and of the ones that are on the good guy's side, you know that this is all real. And science and all that stuff, dude. It's all, you see how it all comes together, and it's like, whoa. You have this gigantic curtain of, like, little kids with, like, you know what I mean? That, like, this is how I see it. Like, if you had a curtain in front of you and little kids drew on it with crayons, like a world for you. Like, oh, that's what you think it is. But when you look behind that curtain and you see what this is all about and how you really go about thinking about your existence and your worldview, it is a tremendous paradox, a tremendous parallel universe of being. And that's why Jesus Christ said, well, all things have become new. Or, well, that was actually in it was Romans. So Paul said that, but he said, behold, all things become new, because after the whole cross thing 2,000 years ago, one of the craziest things, one of the most shameful things that ever happened in humanity, in our existence of humanity, one of the most tragic, messed up things you could ever do to somebody that was so perfect and cool. But we just, the spirit of people who judge other people and try to justify a way to harm that person is the essence of the darkness that we are, and that is exactly the spirit of the person and the people that wanted Jesus Christ dead. It's always over religious, political dictatorships, and that's what you're up against today. You're up against the same type of stuff, a spiritually empowered evil dictatorship with tentacles everywhere on earth. They're doing it all. But figure it out. You know what I mean? Get your mind right, focus and meditate on God, and man, you know what I mean? Go seek Him and see what happens. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I don't even know how to explain that to you, but it's an amazing thing. It's the most important thing you could do in your life, man. But anyways, God bless and have a good day.